Wyatt begins in like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome to Wyatt, and I'm your host, Wyatt O'Brien Evans. Grrr, woof, goddammit, woof, woof, woof. Oh, yeah. Hey, a reminder for my YouTubers. If you like what you hear, if you like what you see, click the subscribe button on the bottom right of your screen. Click it. Just click it. I love to click it. Anyway, I've got another installment in my freaking hot Bedtime with Porn Guys series. Wyatt welcomes Mr. Cole Connor, that fireball of gay porn. This year, Cole won the GayVN award for Best Newcomer. And check it out. This gentleman was also nominated for Best Actor in Best Group Scene. Absolutely impressive. And as we know, the GayVNs are the Oscars of adult entertainment. So Cole will be pulling up to the mic post haste. And after the show, visit my online home, WyattEvans.com, the go-to destination for LGBTQ news, features, commentary, and entertainment. WyattEvans.com is visited by more than 100 countries on the regular. And WyattEvans.com is where you'll find my smoking HAWT hot Nothing Can Tear Us Apart series of novels. And the current installment is titled Frenzy! Yeah, Frenzy. And Frenzy is steaming masculine romance. It's got intrigue, action, danger. I'm talking danger, y'all. And heaping helpings of erotic passion and plain old down-home nastiness. And my listeners, get ready for the next chapter in the Nothing Can Tear Us Apart series of novels. It's called Delirium. I said Delirium. And that drops this winter just in time for Christmas. A programming note, my sometimes part-time co-host, Madam Pussy Galore Cock-a-Doodle-Doo, Drag Queen Supreme, is still on travel, but should return next week in all her glory. All I can say, y'all, is good golly, Miss Molly. All right, now let's do a deep freaking dive into today's show. Wyatt has the absolute pleasure to welcome the rapidly rising porn sensation, Mr. Cole Connor. Well, let's see now. In less than 2 years, Mr. Connor has become an exclusive model for Falcon Naked Sword. And let me tell you something. And I just love doing that. I really do. Just this year, Cole won his first GayVN award for Best Newcomer. And to top it off, he also was nominated for Best Actor and Best Group Scene. As well, this delicious dynamo regularly releases sizzling new content for OnlyFans, just for fans, for my fans, and top fan vids. In other words, y'all, this guy is B-U-S-Y busy. So without further ado, let's welcome Mr. Cole Connor. Talking me, how the hell are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing good. Did you like that introduction?
I did. It highlighted me very well.
Well, listen, Cole, we gotta highlight you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm glowing now.
Oh, good. That like that neon aura, right? Just bzz,
yeah.
Bzz, bzz, bzz. But anyway, my friend, thank you for dropping by, Wyatt. I mean, man, look, I'm a fan of your work. You're smoking HAWT hot on the screen. You're freaking like the mother up. What say you, my friend?
What say I? About what?
About what I just said.
Oh, I'm happy. Thank you for the compliments. I'm happy that people are liking my content and my scenes for the studio. I think I did 19 scenes last year.
Wow.
In 20 and I got off to a slow start this year because of what happened in January. I was kind of out of it for a month.
Right.
So I'm back in it now. But I will have to take a little leave of absence for another surgery that I need to have on my legs. So to repair my hamstrings that were torn in the incident.
And
so
and I want to talk about that near the end. But I want to congratulate you on your first GayVN award for Best Newcomer for this year. Now, what did you win it for, and how did the win make you feel?
Oh man, I was very surprised. I was up against a lot of really great performers. Like a lot. And so, I mean, like Malik Delgado was in there, Felix Fox, Bo Butler, like just lots of really great guys that I love working with and I'm friends with. I mean, it obviously felt amazing. I was very surprised. I also feel like I worked really hard, and I earned it. So, I felt like it felt well deserved, and it was great timing because it was like 2 nights after I got beat up. So,
oh man,
so I had black eyes and while I fixed it. But my friend Adam Ramsey had his GayVN that he won a few years ago, and he just he had it hidden away. So when they announced me, he handed me his so that I could hold it while I accepted my trophies. So they didn't. It wasn't planned. Some people were like, "Oh, I guess you knew that you were winning because you had the trophy there." And I was like, "Oh, it wasn't my trophy. It was just a prop in case I won." But so no, but it was I felt really good about it. It was a highlight of my life. So
oh well, listen, very good, man. Well deserved. I mean, you're on a freaking roll. You're definitely on the fast track because additionally, you were nominated for Best Actor and Best Group Scene, right?
Right. Those both were for the Falcon movie that I did called Making the Grade, directed by Steve Cruz. And my group scene that was nominated was with Dylan Diaz and Eric Charming and Shay Reynolds. So that was actually my first Falcon scene that I shot for like the Falcon studio. Cause I'd shot Raging Stallion and Hot House before, but I hadn't shot for Falcon with Steve Cruz yet until that scene.
Well, many congratulations, really, man. Look, now, before we delve deeper into your very, very promising adult entertainment career, let's take a trip, and I love doing this with my guests. Let's take a trip through the quarters of time so that you can clue our listeners in on your backstory. Are you ready?
Okay.
Okay, first, where did you grow up?
I grew up in Lexington, Kentucky. It's not as small as you might think it is. Kind of like Lexington and Louisville are the cities in Kentucky. So there were things to do. It wasn't. I didn't grow up on a farm.
Okay. I was going to ask you about that too.
Yeah, no, I had well, there were lots of outdoorsy things to do. I went to summer camp every summer. For a long time. I was raised Jewish. I had a bar mitzvah.
Oh, okay.
But the summer camp was a Jewish summer camp, and it was in Indianapolis. So that's, so there are lots of kids that came from Ohio and Michigan and Kentucky and Indiana. Like very a lot of Midwest Jews. so they exist.
Okay, cool.
We exist. So yeah, and I grew up doing that. And I even went on to become a counselor there. I worked there like into, I think my last year I was like on the leadership staff, and I was like I was like the climbing tower specialist also.
Okay. Well, I've got to ask you this, Cole. As a little boy, a little nipper, what characteristics, 3 of them, best described you? Yeah, right.
I was a late bloomer, so I was pretty small, until I was in like 10th grade. So I was always like the small. I was like short. I was slow to like my voice never got deep like as when the other kids did, and I just was always, I was like young for my grade. I think my parents did that because I have an older sibling that's like a year and a half older, and they wanted us in the grades next to each other. Like, so instead of one grade in, but like, who the fuck? Who cares? Who cares?
You can say it. You can say it though.
Who really cares?
Fuck.
For some reason, that's what they wanted. So it made me like, I was never 18 in high school. Like I graduated and then turned 18 the next month. So
interesting. Okay.
So I what did I say? Small. I was athletic. I was a gymnast, and I played soccer.
Nice.
And I swam, and I ran, and climbed. All that stuff. I liked sports. I wasn't like a big. I still couldn't tell you anything about football. I don't know how it works.
You know what? Listen, look, me and you both, man, I've never really had an interest in football. It's been basketball for me.
Yeah, I'm not into any of them. I'm like, team sports for me are like, I can't sit through a whole game of a sport. I have zero interest at all.
Look, you are not alone. You are not alone.
I know. I don't know. I would have roommates in college and stuff that could just sit there all day on Sunday and just like watch game after game, and I'm like, what are you doing with your Sunday?
It's like zombies. They're zombies. They're in Zombieville. All right. Well, you sounded like you. Oh, go ahead. Oh, I don't want to shortchange you. Go ahead.
I'd say I was like kind of a lonely kid, actually. So like, well, I kind of jumped around to different groups of friends. Not really sure why. I don't know. I didn't get close to like that many people growing up. I got closer to people like at summer camp than I did in actual school. But I guess that was like a little bit more of a, you're like, you see people more often, and at like summer camp, you're kind of stuck with them.
But look,
so you get closer.
From a lonely kid introverted to a porn star. Okay. Who knew? Listen, and we're so glad that happened. But anyway, let's fast forward to adulthood. For like 12 years, you ran a successful personal training business. Tell us all about that.
I was always interested in doing something with fitness, and like where better to do it than Los Angeles. So, I had always worked in restaurants and like bartended and like waited tables and stuff. And then I was working in a restaurant here in LA for about 4 years, and it closed for renovation. So I took that time to get my personal training certification, then I got a job. At my Equinox was my first personal training job. So I worked there for about 1.5 years, and then I wanted to keep my money and not give it to Equinox. So I decided to go private.
Right.
And so I just started training my clients at private gyms, and it was a real, I learned a lot about, marketing yourself and running a business and customer service and all of that important stuff that really helped me transition into making my like fan content sites do better right away. So all of that stuff I learned in that 12 years of running my own business really helped, really translated into what I'm doing now. So it's just whatever whatever skills you can take from one job often can lead into the next one.
That is very, very true. And then, Cole, you got your feet wet in the porn biz by making XXX content when you created an OnlyFans account. Now, look, precisely what compelled you to do that, and what's the allure of porn for you? What attracts you? Tell us about that.
I'll tell you what attracted me first. I'll start there. I've always been like a big porn fan.
No.
I'm like ever since dial-up internet, and me like sneaking down to the computer in my parents' house in high school, just like and printing out slowly downloaded pictures so that I could keep them up in my room.
Naughty
I wouldn't
boy.
have to go down to the so I could just spread them out on my on my desk.
You did that too.
And just have my way with it. Yeah. So I mean, I knew who the porn stars were. I still watch straight porn like a lot more than gay porn.
Why is that?
I don't know if it's just always what I grew up with, but especially now, I don't see all of my friends in it. So,
okay, I like that. Okay,
but there's always an element of, I mean, it's always like 2 guys on 1 girl, or 3 guys, or 4 guys, or like there's always more guys than girls. Or maybe like an equal amount. I don't know. So I just groups are like, I'm not that fetishy. I'm not that kinky, but like if I had to say that I had a kink, it would be groups. So
yeah, I was man.
And like I make a lot of group content with people all over, the other creators all over the place. I just did one in Wisconsin that my friends in Chicago put together with like 30 of us. So that's what we're releasing this week.
You know what, Cole, you're scary because I think you're reading the script in my head, Because seriously, because I'm going to ask you a little later about sexual configurations and which ones you most prefer and why. So, I mean, it's like, bzz, bzz, you're reading my freaking mind here, which is cool. This is cool.
But back to the question, I guess. So I've always been a fan. When I started this, I knew the gay porn stars that I wanted to reach out to, that I wanted to collaborate with. What I was gonna say something. Oh, how'd I get started? So I was working with a photographer, just doing a few photo shoots with him, and mainly for stuff that I could use to promote my like online coaching and training business. So we had just done one shoot. We were going to do another one. And the night before I asked him, hey, what do you want me to bring as far as like clothes and stuff? And he was like, oh, like jock straps or, harness, like stuff like, I'm like, okay, well, I can't really use that stuff for anything on Instagram, or like I can't really post that stuff there. And like I'm like, if I had an OnlyFans, I guess it'd be different, but like I don't need to do like a nude shoot. And he was like, well, why don't you have an OnlyFans? And I was like, why don't I have an OnlyFans? And I was like, and this is like COVID. This is like COVID time. So this is early October of 2020.
Okay.
So I'm like, yeah, I'm like, maybe I could do some like nudes and some solo stuff and like, yeah, okay, yeah, let's do it. And I'll do an OnlyFans and maybe I'll make some money from it. Like whatever. So we did some shoot. We did a sexier shoot. I started posting some of the stuff on Twitter. I had an account on Twitter since 2013. Never used it, never touched it. I think I had like 200 followers on it when I rebranded it. I took this now I realize I should have just started a new account, but because now it doesn't reflect how quickly it grew because it looks like I started it in 2013. But so it suddenly isn't as impressive anymore. So then, yeah, I started promoting it on Twitter. People started signing up. I think I dropped some little stories on my Instagram account that I had before. I still have it, but it was like my personal training account and it had like 50,000 followers. So I would kind of drop little stories in, but nothing where like my family would see it or
I get it.
So I was trying to keep it a little bit under the radar, but I got like a good amount of signups. And then I'm posting, solo videos of me masturbating and doing stuff by myself. And then I was like, well, this is going to get old really fast for me because it's not that fun. So I was like, I need to start having sex with people on camera. But I was like, I was actually training because this is COVID times and the gyms were closed. I was training one of my friends in my garage where I would work out. I had a bunch of equipment in the back of my car. I would pull it out and work out myself. And he lived in my building. And I'm like really good friends with him. So, and we had been, hey, we were like in our quarantine pod. I hate that saying. I think it's so stupid, but, yeah. So anyway, I was training him one day in the garage and talking about having sex on camera versus doing solo stuff. And he's like, what? He's like, why do you think there is a difference between like, it's porn one way or the other? It's like, there's he's like, there's this line is imaginary that that you are like thinking in your head. I'm like, yeah, you're right. I should just do what I want to do anyway. And yeah, luckily people wanted to work with me, or they were willing to, and I worked every day. I filmed something every day in November, I think.
But you're naughty, which is good. I believe in mid-October of 2020, just 2 weeks after you started that OnlyFans page, you were invited by Tony DeMarco, director of Raging Stallion, to shoot a studio scene.
Right.
How did that come about? What was going through your head when you got that call?
I kind of knew it was coming. Because I'm friends with a couple guys that I'm friends with Jake Nicola and Vince Parker, who have both worked for Raging Stallion before and done studio stuff. So they knew Tony, and I'd collabed with them, and they talked me up to Tony, and they were like, "You should really check him out." And I don't even think I talked to them maybe about doing studio porn, or if I would, but he reached out to me and asked if I could get on the phone with him. And I was driving, it was like Halloween weekend. I was going up to Big Bear, up to the mountains to stay with my lesbian friends who have a cabin there. And
cool.
As lesbians do, have cabins in Big Bear. So I talked to him for like an hour while I was driving up there, and just talking about what I was into, and like what the movie was that he wanted to do. And it's just, I could tell he was a nice guy, and it made me feel comfortable about it. I was like, and it wasn't until early December that, so I had like a month to kind of get used to the idea anyway, but I told him then I would do it. And then I shot that scene, and it went really well. I was like proud of myself. Driving back from Vegas. Back then, during COVID, they weren't flying us there. So we had to drive there and sit in our hotel room and come to set and do the thing and go back to the hotel room and like not do anything in Vegas, which is pretty much what I do anyway. Now I just fly in. It was, I remember driving back after this. I remember driving there and being like, I drove there late at night because I didn't want to sit in my room all day. So I drove in, it was kind of late. I was like, what if everything goes terribly wrong tomorrow?
I was going to ask you about that. Did you have were you nervous? Did you have trepidation? Did you have butterflies? Did you say to yourself, maybe I shouldn't do this after all?
I never thought maybe I shouldn't do it. I just was like, man, I really hope it goes well. And I guess that's really all you can do in that situation. I'm not like somebody that would back out of something that I said I'm going to do. I had enough time to think about it. I'm like, I think I had like a fleeting moment, like laying in bed the night before. I was kind of like, I was excited and nervous, and I do remember being like, oh man, what if I, what if I can't perform like what if I take a dump on somebody? I like just running through all the things that can go wrong.
Well,
so anyway, that kind of passed. But then after the scene went well, and I'm driving back the next day, and I just I wanted to tell people, I wanted to talk to people about it and just be like, I called my friend, the one that I was talking about training in the garage, and I was like, oh, it went so well. I'm like, I loved it, so much fun. Like, I can't wait to do it again. And then, a couple weeks later, Tony asked me if I would be interested in signing an exclusive contract with them.
Okay.
So it was, I guess they liked it too.
Yeah, I kind of think they did. Oh, listen, I want to give a shout out to Toby Morris, VP of Sales and Marketing at Falcon Naked Sword.
Yes, hey, Toby.
Yeah, because Toby has helped me on occasion, and I greatly appreciate it. So, Mr. Connor, what is it like working for Falcon Naked Sword?
It's great. I always feel really taken care of. If I need something, it's easy to get. Whether it's like I want to fly on a certain airline only, and
nice, very nice.
I don't know, just I'm trying to think of something that. Oh well, I mean, even after the attack in January, Tim Valenti, who owns all of Falcon,
right?
Reached out to me and was very supportive and offered anything that that he could do to help, and everybody, him, not just him, everybody really really made me feel like they were behind me. So that was really nice. We just lost, or we didn't. I mean, he's still alive.
Okay.
But our producer Adam, who really is behind the scenes, booking all the flights, booking all the hotels, making all the schedules, and doing all of that for Raging Stallion, Falcon, Naked Sword, Hot House, all of it. So we just he just retired from that, so he will be missed, but we have Nick Fit in his place now,
right,
who is I just worked with for the first time on, I mean, not sexually, but for Falcon.
Listen, look, I'm glad you made that clarification. Okay.
He actually lives in the next building down the street.
That's interesting. Yeah,
I know, but I actually never got a chance to work with him sexually on a scene. So, and now I guess I probably won't get to.
No,
sadly, I don't think that's his position at Falcon, to sleep with the exclusives or to film with them. So, even though he is very sexy and fit.
Ergo, the last name of Fit. Well,
so, so, I mean, working with Falcon is great. It was really, it helped me, it helped legitimize me as a new performer.
Oh, sure.
I think people I think all of it, I didn't have to convince anybody anymore that I was good at this. It was if they want you, you're good. So.
yeah, definitely. I mean, being a newcomer, that is quite a feat for a legendary brand like Falcon Naked Sword to offer you an exclusive contract. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I was very excited.
Oh, yeah. If I did porn, I would be too. But that's neither here nor there. But now I want to ask you about the assault in January, if you don't mind. What happened?
Okay. To make a long story short, I was going out to an after hours with some friends. I left my ID in my friend's car, which was going out of my apartment at that time of night. Mistake number one. Mistake number two, leaving the ID in the car. And mistake number three, going back to the car to get it by myself.
What time of night was it, by the way?
It was like 5 a.m.
Okay, got it.
So on Hollywood Boulevard, just not the greatest place or time. And I really just ran back to the car. As soon as I opened it, 5 guys just like on me.
Oh man.
So just they hit me on the head a bunch, and I dropped my phone and my wallet and my friend's keys, and now I know that in the struggle to get the stuff off the ground and trying to hold on to my things, I tore my hamstrings, which made it impossible for me to run away.
Of course.
So I was really struggling to even crawl away.
Yeah.
And luckily somebody happened to drive by and open up their door for me so that I could jump in their car and get away. So that was, and then they brought me to my apartment building, and then I called the police, or the concierge called the police for me, and they came. I cleaned up a little bit. I took some pictures and I cleaned up a bit, and waited for the police to come to make a statement. So, and that's really the last I ever heard about the case. And yeah, I mean, I guess I am really lucky that I made it out of there, because they did have a bat that they never got a chance to use on me. But I just and they didn't even break any of my teeth, so that's nice.
I mean, yeah, because you've got an excellent smile. I mean, that was a harrowing experience for you.
Yeah, it wasn't fun, but and I'll still be dealing with it for a few more months. But I'm just, before leading up to the surgery, hopefully in mid-May, I will, I'm just gonna bang out a bunch of content and hopefully shoot some more studio scenes, and so that I don't disappear for a little bit, so that people will still be seeing. It won't. Hopefully, it won't look like I'm absent for that long.
Got it.
So
got it. That makes sense. Okay. On a happier note, and inquiring minds want to know, in your scenes, do you prefer one-on-ones, threesomes, orgies, and why? I'm curious. Or does it even matter? It might not matter to you.
It doesn't matter that much to me. I'm all for sometimes you have a couple collabs lined up, and schedules get rearranged a little bit, and you're like, well, let's just do it all together, I guess. So we all can do this time. let's just are you guys okay? If can I invite this person in on our one-on-one, and we'll just make a 3-way out of it. So usually that's okay. Some people don't like groups. I don't know why, but or some people don't like. I like a cameraman. I still use the photographer that convinced me to do an OnlyFans. He's my videographer and editor now. So I've been with him. He's been with me since the very beginning, and he helps me make all my content. not all of it, but like anything I do here in LA, at my apartment, or like most of the stuff I do here is he shoots it and edits it. His name's Jose Arroyo. And yeah, so I'm like very lucky that I have that too, because editing takes time, and it's nice. I like to have a cameraman because I can focus on performing and having the sex, and I'm not holding a camera. I can't do that. I can't have sex and hold a camera at the same time. Some people can. Some people are very good at it. It's just not something I want to do. I don't like getting lube on my phone.
Yeah.
I can't hold on to it. It's not good.
Slippery when wet. Yes.
Slippery when wet. So I prefer, some people don't like having a camera person. Some people don't do studio porn that do this, and they like more of an amateur look, or they think their audience likes more of an amateur look. I like to make it look as close to studio level porn. But you get to do stuff like, you get to be yourself more. Like, people can still see how you actually have sex. It's not, all that stuff's not cut out because you're supposed to look like this sex god,
right?
Studio machine. So like, where everything is just like perfect, and like you never see a lube bottle. God forbid you see a lube bottle. That's just how you're just so turned on that you're lubricated, right?
I'm getting the picture now, though. Hey, speaking of threesomes, right? I want to talk about one of your scenes. It's called, hopefully I'm pronouncing this correctly, Tris de Kazi, which also features Adam Russo and Jack Andy. And let me say, Cole, the scene is nasty. That's NASTEE, which is a good thing. That's a good thing when you spell it like that. It is passionate, it's raw, nicely verbal, and it's quite nicely choreographed. So tell us about that particular scene.
That was probably my first filmed three-way. I think. And I've known Adam Russo for a long, long time. Since he and Jake Nicola were dating, which was a long time ago. Jake Nicola I worked at a gym with, like my friend's gym down on Melrose. We used to coach together. But Adam, I think he and Jack Andy had broken up at that point, but I'm not sure. There was still, I don't know. But I came over. I hadn't shot with either of them before, and Jose filmed for us, and I was just really like, they're both really sexy men, and Jack has real nice big dick. And that was a fun one to shoot. It was, it's also like nice. The OnlyFans shoots are nice and quick, and they don't have to be perfect. We don't have to like go do stills and stop and have a camera person to take stills of just what you just did. And then you can just actually have sex, and you just try to make it last so that the video is longer. But it's like, I'm always like, when I'm having recreational sex, I'm like, 5 minutes, let's do this, done. I want to make it last. I want to come fast.
Well, Mr. Connor, look, my listeners, you must check out Tris de Kazi. Just like go to Pornhub or whatever and just type in Cole Connor, Adam Russo, and Jack Andy, and that mother will pop up. It will pop up.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that was one that was taken down from OnlyFans because there might be some poppers bottles in it, and you can't even show a bottle of poppers on OnlyFans. It's the stupidest rule. I don't even like poppers, but sometimes I would have it on the nightstand in case in case my bottom wanted some.
Right
there, and then cut to me getting a bunch of videos taken down because of a poppers bottle on a nightstand that never got used.
Well, listen, you have to be gracious to your bottom, right?
Right.
There you go.
You gotta, I mean, I don't like when somebody just has it basically like glued to their nose. That's never fun.
Oh, no.
Like if you're just sitting huffing away, I'm like, do you even want to be here? Are you having fun or do you want to be that out of it?
I want to mention, I want to thank actually the performer of the decade, Mr. J.D. Daniels, Cole, for connecting us.
Yes.
And J.D. is the founder and CEO of the new Lux Studios, which is getting lots of raves and good vibes and well wishes throughout the industry. And it looks like Lux is going to be a game changer in gay adult porn. What do you think about? Give me your thoughts on Daniels and Lux.
Oh man, you know what? He has always been. He reached out to me when he was starting Lux, and wanted me to do something, and I can't because I'm exclusive to Falcon. But he's even though I couldn't work for him, he has still always been super supportive and sends me messages all the time, just just sorry, excuse me. Just ate right before that. So yeah, he just is always he's just such a sweetheart, and he keeps reaching out, it's always nice to if somebody wants something from you and you can't give it to them, they kind of disappear.
Right.
But I've never met him in person. So and just that he's good about keeping up with me and giving me support. So I want to return the favor. So I wish them the best of luck with Lux, and I'm sure in the future sometime I'll get to do something with them, but it'll just have to wait a little bit.
I got it. We mentioned promotion earlier in the show. How critical is promotion for an adult actor's success?
Well, that's also another nice thing about being with Falcon is they just promote the crap out of you. They want you to be a star. So they want people to know your name. They want people to recognize you. They want people to search for you. They want people to want to watch the movies that they make with you in it. So, they make you look good. They give you nice photos. They edit your scenes well. They, it's just, and some studios, I won't say which ones, but they have no interest in making you a star. They want people to know their brand name, not your name. So, and when you age out, they're done. They're done with you. So, I feel very fortunate to be with a company like Falcon that, I feel like everybody cares about you and everybody wants the best for you. And, I remember talking with Tony about what's different now as instead of in the past with the exclusives that we have now.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we have like a great roster of guys that are like not just hot and sexy, but like nice guys too. So, and he was like, yeah, I think the difference is like a lot of times in the past, they've had people that were like, okay, where's my check?
Oh, okay.
Like, come in. I want to get the check. I want to like do as little as possible and get the check and get out.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he likes that we kind of go in and like we give it our best and like really work to collaborate on a good scene and make it as good as it can be, instead of just kind of like
right
doing the bare minimum and then getting out. But so, and I guess we should definitely talk about my new movie coming out.
Yes, we should. Yes, we should.
Since we are talking about promotion.
Talk to me.
So Ride or Die is a thrilling, dark crime story. 9 episodes, written by Ben Rush, directed by Tony DeMarco, starring me. I play a villainous warden of a prison who just I'm a real piece of shit. So
no.
So and it was really fun to play, just like a bad guy. And just, I had a scene come out on last Friday, the second episode of the series, and I just humiliate Dylan Diaz in front of Chris Damned and just make him just talk down to him the whole time I'm having sex with him, and it was definitely a departure from reality for me, but and just and being showing Chris Damned how to top. Giving him a lesson as if he needs one. If you've ever been topped by Chris Damned, you know he does not need a lesson. So
in other words, you are a bad man in this series.
Yes. Very bad. I just have a lot of shady things going on.
Shady.
Just lots of deals, and I'm pimping out my prisoners, and
that's not a bad thing.
Just
I'm just playing. Go ahead.
And humiliating my guards, and I have a stepson that
wow, man,
that I'm not a good stepdad to. Yeah, it just is I'm just a horrible person. So
well. Okay.
It's fun to pretend, right?
Yeah, I mean it's fun. You're playing against type, and it's just something fun to do. That's great.
Yeah.
So
the scenes are gonna people are really gonna like the scenes. Very, very sexy. Lots of hot guys in it. There's one, the final scene. I can't give away too much, but it is, or I guess maybe I can. I think the whole DVD. The whole DVD is out.
Yeah, do it.
I think. So it involves me and Rain and Drew Sebastian and Dylan Diaz. They're all guards in the prison. No, sorry, Rain is not a guard. He is a prisoner. But they get some revenge on me in the final scene. And it happens to be on the hood of a car.
Oh, that's nice.
So,
I like that.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So it's it's raw, it's gritty. It is it's a lot of fun.
Now, again, this is Ride or Die. Is that correct?
Ride or Die, yes.
I love it.
Raging Stallion.
Yeah. Well, what other projects do you have going on for the rest of this year? What's up?
So I just shot last weekend in Vegas Scrum 2.
Ooh.
Which is the first scene that I did back last December. Was Scrum, and this is the sequel. And I'm the only returning cast member to Scrum 2. The rest of the cast is all brand new.
Okay.
And it's got Drew Valentino, Bo Butler, some new faces. What else? So that was fun. And I'm in the orgy scene of Scrum 2.
Wow.
So it's an 8-way.
Ah, yes, yes.
Which turns out takes a lot longer to shoot an 8-way than it does just a 1-on-1.
Oh, I can only imagine.
So, we devoted like 3 days to this one scene.
Wow.
To get everything. So, but I think I know it's going to be super hot when it's all ready and finished. I'm about to go to Tahoe tomorrow morning to shoot for 6 days for Naked Sword with Mark McNamara. I gotta get packing tonight. After this is over, I'm hitting the gym one last time, and I'm gonna start packing all my warm clothes because it's gonna be cold. I'm gonna be freezing. I don't like the cold weather. That's why I live in Southern California. But
well, give us all of your social media. How can we connect with you?
Oh, man. Okay, so Twitter, at Cole Connor XX. Everything is Cole Connor at Cole Connor XX. That's Twitter, OnlyFans, just for fans, for my fans.
Okay. I
have one, it's Cole-Connor, or it's topfanbids.xxx.Cole-Connor. My Instagram is Cole-Connor_official.
Okay.
And I think that's about it, right? Yeah. I think that's all that you can do.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Cool. You covered your bases. You covered your bases.
I think I did.
Well, Mr. Cole Connor, thank you so much for stopping by. Wyatt! Wyatt! I had a hell of a good time. Thank you so much.
Me too. Thanks for having me.
My pleasure. So there you have it. You can find the official Wyatt podcast page on WyattEvans.com. And the official hashtag is Wyatt on Air. If you want to be a guest on Wyatt, or you just have comments, feedbacks, you know what I'm talking about, email me at WyattOnAir@gmail.com. You can follow me, Wyatt O'Brien Evans, your host, on Facebook.com/Wyatt O'Brien Evans, on Twitter at Mr. Woe, MISTERWOE, Instagram, Sir Wyatt Official, SIRWYATTOFFICIAL. And be sure to check out my Nothing Can Tear Us Apart series of novels, the latest being Frenzy. I said Frenzy. And its predecessor, Rage, at WyattEvans.com. So until next time, y'all, woof, goddammit, woof, woof, woof.